At some point this week, an ant will probably appear somewhere inside a home. Maybe it will cross a kitchen floor. Maybe it will crawl along a windowsill. Maybe it will disappear beneath a cabinet. Most people react the same way. It is just an ant-y, a tiny insect, a minor nuisance, something to wipe away and forget. But what if that assumption is completely wrong? What if the ant you just saw was not lost at all? What if it knew exactly where it was going? What if it had already detected something inside your home that you have not noticed yet? A hidden leak, moisture behind a wall, a crack beneath the foundation, wood slowly beginning to soften, or a tiny food source so small your eyes passed right over it. What if the real reason ants keep appearing in your home has less to do with invasion and far more to do with information? Because that ant is not simply walking, it is reading. It is sampling the air, testing the floor, following invisible signals, and reporting everything it finds back to a hidden world you almost never see. By the end of this story, you may never look at an ant the same way again. If you are new here, subscribe and join us as we explore the hidden world living quietly around us every day. The science, the stories, and the remarkable creatures most people never stop to understand. Now let us begin. The first thing you need to understand is that the ant you see is almost never the whole story. Even when it appears to be alone, somewhere beyond your walls, beneath your lawn, under a driveway, or inside a narrow crack in the ground, thousands of other ants may be connected to that single individual, and together they may know far more about your home than you realize. To human eyes, an ant seems to move randomly. It stops, turns, changes direction, then continues. It looks confused, almost lost. But nothing could be further from the truth. That ant is gathering information every second, every step, every movement of its antennae. To us, a kitchen floor is just a floor. To an ant, it is a map filled with microscopic signals, tiny traces of sugar, grease molecules near the stove, moisture beneath a sink, air moving beneath a door, chemical traces left behind hours earlier, temperature changes near a wall. The ant reads all of it with senses we do not have. And when it finds something useful, it does not stay there. It goes home. On the way back, it leaves a chemical trail. To us, that trail is invisible. To other ants, it is a message that says, "Follow me. Come see what I found." This is why one ant can become 10. 10 can become 50. And by the next morning, a perfect line of ants may be crossing a place that looked completely empty the night before. But here is where the story becomes more important. What ants find inside homes is not always food. Sometimes it is water. Sometimes it is warmth. Sometimes it is a hidden opening. And sometimes it is damage that has been quietly growing inside the structure of your house. That is where carpenter ants become so misunderstood. Most people believe carpenter ants simply destroy homes. And yes, they can cause damage. But that is not the whole story. Carpenter ants usually do not choose strong, dry, healthy wood. They prefer wood that has already been softened by moisture, wood that has begun to decay, wood that may already be compromised before the ants ever arrive. So if carpenter ants keep appearing near a wall, an attic, a window frame, or a crawl space, the real question may not be, why are the ants here? The better question is, what did they find? A slow leak, a damp beam, a hidden patch of rotting wood, a place where water has been collecting long before you saw the first ant. In a strange way, carpenter ants can act like a living warning system, not because they are trying to help you, but because they are attracted to the exact conditions homeowners often miss. And carpenter ants are only one part of the story. Pavement ants tell a different kind of secret. When you see small piles of fine soil near cracks in a driveway, basement floor, patio, or sidewalk, it may look meaningless. Just a little dirt, just a little activity. But those ants are excavating beneath the surface. They follow the easiest path through the soil. And sometimes the easiest path exists because the ground beneath the concrete has shifted. Water erosion, loose soil, tiny underground gaps, early settling, hidden voids. The ants are not creating all of those conditions. Often they are simply revealing them. They make the invisible visible, and that is what makes them so fascinating. Ants do not see a home the way we do. They do not see rooms. They see conditions, moisture, heat, access, food, Safety, danger. A crack under a door is not a crack to them. It is an entrance. A damp corner is not a damp corner. It is a signal. A crumb behind the stove is not a crumb. It is a destination. And once a destination matters, the colony builds a road to it. That road is made of pheromones, chemical messages laid down by ants as they travel. A strong trail means the reward is worth the effort. A weak trail means the colony is losing interest. A broken trail may mean danger, and when an ant is crushed or threatened, it can release an alarm signal that nearby ants detect almost instantly. To us, it looks like chaos. To them, it is communication, a living highway built from chemistry. But ants do not only build chemical roads. Some ants build living bridges. Scientists have watched entire groups of ants link their bodies together when a gap appears in their path. One ant holds another, then another connects, then another, until the colony has formed a bridge made entirely of living bodies. Other ants walk across it. Food moves across it. The trail continues. And when the bridge is no longer needed, the bridge does not collapse. It walks away. Think about that for a moment. A structure built from living insects, created without a leader, used by the colony, then dissolved back into movement. That is the kind of intelligence ants use every day. Not individual intelligence like ours, but collective intelligence. No single ant understands the whole colony. No ant gives orders. No ant controls the entire system. And yet the colony behaves as if it has a shared mind. Thousands of small decisions become one large behavior. Thousands of simple signals become a complex solution. This is why some scientists describe ant colonies as superorganisms. The individual ants are like cells. The colony is the body. And that body can learn. It can adapt. It can remember. If food appears in the same place again and again, the colony adjusts. If moisture gathers beneath a sink, the colony returns. If danger appears along one route, fewer ants may use it. If another route becomes safe, it can become the new highway. This means ants are not only reacting to your home, they may be learning its patterns. And in some cases, they may be learning yours. Every day we follow routines without noticing them. We prepare food in the same places, drop crumbs in the same corners, run water in the same sinks, open the same doors, use the same rooms at similar times. To us, these habits feel invisible. To ants, they are information. A kitchen counter that has food every evening becomes predictable. A pet bowl that stays out overnight becomes predictable. A damp bathroom corner becomes predictable. And the colony adjusts its behavior around those patterns. That is unsettling. But it is also extraordinary, because the ants appearing in your home may not be arriving randomly. They may be responding to a pattern your own home has created. But collective intelligence is not the only wow fact hidden inside the world of ants. Some ants are farmers. Long before humans planted fields, some ant species were already managing food sources. Certain ants protect aphids almost like tiny livestock. They guard them from predators, move them to better plants, and collect the sweet liquid the aphids produce. Humans call it honeydew. For ants, it is a valuable food source. Other ants grow fungus underground. They cut leaves, carry them home, feed the leaves to fungus, and then eat the fungus as their crop. An ant colony can be a city, a farm, a road system, a military base, and a chemical communication network all at once. And yes, some ants go to war. Colonies can fight over territory, food, and nesting sites. Thousands of ants may be involved. Lines form. Soldiers push forward. Territory is gained. Territory is lost, and most of it happens beneath our feet or along the edges of places we barely notice. Inside walls, under stones, beneath driveways, along the cracks of sidewalks. The quiet world of ants is not simple at all. It is organized, competitive, adaptable, and incredibly old. Ants have been refining their systems for more than 100 million years. They were here before humans, before our houses, before our kitchens, before the walls we now try to keep them out of. Which brings us back to your home. Why do ants keep appearing? Most people assume they are invading. Sometimes they are looking for food. Sometimes they are looking for water. Sometimes they are looking for shelter. But often the deeper answer is this. They are following information. Information hidden in your home. Information carried by scent, moisture, heat, openings, decay, routine, and memory. The ant crossing your kitchen floor may be a scout, a messenger, a tiny investigator from a much larger world. It may have found a crumb, or it may have found a leak. It may have discovered a gap in the wall, or damp wood beneath a window. It may be following a chemical road laid by others before it, or helping build a new one, and the colony behind it may remember far more than any single ant ever could. In some parts of the world, ants form super colonies so enormous they stretch across vast distances. Millions of nests, billions of ants, all cooperating as if they belong to one giant society. That fact alone changes the way we should think about them, because ants are not just pests. They are one of the most successful forms of life on Earth, and when they appear inside our homes, they are often telling us that something has attracted their attention. The next time you see one ant moving across your countertop or disappearing beneath a doorway, you may still choose to remove it. Most people will, but before you do, pause for a moment. Look at where it came from. Look at where it is going. Ask what it might have found. Moisture, food, a crack, a hidden root, a problem behind the surface. Because the real mystery is not simply why ants keep appearing in your home. The real mystery is how much is happening around us every day without us ever noticing. Nature is always reading the world, not with tools, not with machines, but with tiny living bodies, antennae, chemical trails, shared memory, and senses far different from our own. Ants notice what we overlook. They follow clues we cannot detect. They reveal stories unfolding quietly beneath the surface of the places we think we know best. That is not something to fear. It is something to pay attention to. Have you ever had ants appear in the same place again and again inside your home? And did you later discover what was attracting them? A leak, a crack, food, moisture, something hidden behind the wall. Tell me your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and sometimes the most fascinating discoveries come from the experiences shared by this community. And if you would like to discover another hidden secret about the small creatures living quietly around your home, the next story is already waiting. Until then, keep watching, keep wondering, and never stop paying attention to the small things.